Have you ever crossed paths with someone who felt like far more than a soulmate? Someone whose presence didn't just attract you, but recognized you as if they mirrored your inner world, awakened emotions you didn't know existed, and changed your life's direction in a single moment? Perhaps you felt a connection so intense, so magnetic, that it scared you because nothing about it followed the patterns of ordinary love. If you've been confused, overwhelmed, or haunted by the feeling that this person wasn't just special but destined, then you may already be standing at the doorway of a twin flame connection without fully understanding what it means. In today's deep spiritual exploration, we are going to guide you through the 7 rare and unmistakable signs that reveal whether the person you met is truly your twin flame. These aren't superficial feelings or romantic fantasies. These signs hide in emotional storms, sudden awakenings, moments of soul-level recognition, and silences that speak louder than entire conversations. This video will help you understand why this connection feels so different, why it's powerful, transformative, and sometimes painfully chaotic. By the end, you'll know how to distinguish ordinary attraction from the soul-deep resonance that only a true twin flame can activate within you. By the time you finish this journey, you will no longer see your connection the same way. You'll understand why twin flames don't come into your life to simply love you, they come to awaken you. Where soulmates bring comfort, twin flames bring transformation. Where soulmates harmonize, twin flames ignite. And while not everyone encounters their twin flame in this lifetime, those who do cannot return to who they were before. Recognizing the signs will allow you to make sense of the chaos, the intensity, the timing, and the deep emotional pull that refuses to let you go. So as we move through these 7 truths today, keep your heart open. You may discover that you have already met the soul destined to mirror your essence, or that your spirit is preparing for a reunion that will change everything. Section 1. Instant recognition. The very first sign of a twin flame connection often arrives in a single moment, a moment so subtle yet so powerful that it imprints itself on your soul. It is the experience of instant recognition, the kind of encounter that does not rely on logic, appearance, or circumstance. It happens in a breath, in a glance, in the space between 2 heartbeats. When your eyes meet, something in the atmosphere changes. The world does not stop, but it softens. The background noise fades as if the universe gently turns down its volume, leaving only the 2 of you standing in an invisible field of energy that feels ancient and strangely familiar. This instant recognition is not the spark of ordinary attraction. It does not feel like excitement or nervous anticipation. Instead, it carries a profound sense of remembering. Something inside you whispers with quiet certainty, "I know you." Even if you have never spoken before, even if this is the first time your paths have crossed in this lifetime, your soul responds with a recognition older than memory. It is as though your deeper self sees beyond the physical body and touches the essence of the other person, the part of them that existed long before this incarnation. Many twin flames describe this encounter as a spiritual shock, disguised as a simple moment. It can happen in a crowded room, in passing, or during the most ordinary day, yet it feels like a sacred pause hidden inside the chaos of life. It is not the same as the thrill of chemistry or the rush of infatuation. It is calmer, deeper, and strangely grounding. It feels like stepping into a space you have known before, a home you had forgotten, yet instantly remember the moment you arrive. From the very beginning, the connection carries a sense of ease. Conversation does not need to be forced. You do not overthink your words or try to appear more interesting, more confident, or more desirable. You simply speak, and they understand. You fall into a rhythm with them as naturally as breathing. And when the conversation slips into silence, the silence itself becomes meaningful. It does not feel empty or awkward. It feels sacred, like a shared meditation, like 2 energies blending without effort. This is because a twin flame encounter is not an introduction, it is a continuation. On some level, you are not meeting them for the first time. You are reuniting with a soul that has walked beside you across lifetimes. You sense this through the comfort, the familiarity, and the unspoken trust that appears without explanation. You feel as though you are picking up a conversation that began in another realm, another age, another version of yourself. Many describe this moment as looking into a mirror, but not a mirror that reflects your features or your physical form. Instead, it reflects your essence, the truth of who you are, beneath the layers of personality and human experience. Their presence awakens something dormant inside you, something that says, "You are not alone. I am here. I always have been." Instant recognition is the soul's way of reminding you that destiny does not shout, it whispers. It calls you, not through logic, but through memory. And when a twin flame enters your life, that whisper becomes undeniable. It marks the beginning of a journey that will change you, challenge you, and transform you in ways no ordinary connection ever could. Before we move into the next sign, take a moment to reflect on your own journey. Have you ever experienced a moment of recognition so powerful it felt like destiny brushing against your life? These moments are not coincidences, they are invitations from the universe. If this first sign resonates with you, I encourage you to share your experience in the comments, or simply type the affirmation, "My soul remembers the truth," to anchor this recognition into your energy. Your voice may be the message someone else needs to hear today. Section 2. The deep emotional connection that lives beyond words. The second sign is the profound emotional bond that forms almost instantly, often before your mind has time to understand what is happening. This connection does not grow slowly the way ordinary relationships do. It rises like a sudden tide, overwhelming yet peaceful, familiar yet mysterious. It feels as though the two of you share not just mutual attraction, but something far more intimate, as if you are breathing through the same emotional heart. Your feelings move in harmony, your inner worlds begin to synchronize, and your emotions no longer belong solely to you. This is one of the most unmistakable markers of a twin flame bond. You do not simply understand each other, you feel each other. It almost seems as though an invisible energetic bridge stretches between your souls. Through this bridge, emotions travel effortlessly, bypassing logic, time, and physical distance. When one twin flame experiences pain, even silent pain, the kind that hides behind a smile or an unspoken thought, the other feels a sudden heaviness in their chest or an unexplained sense of sadness. When one experiences joy or breakthroughs, the other feels a spark of lightness, as if their spirit suddenly lifts for no reason at all. This emotional telepathy can be startling at first. You may wake up with an ache in your heart, only to discover later that they were wrestling with fear or loneliness the night before. Or you may be going about your day when a wave of serenity washes over you the exact moment they find clarity, courage, or peace. It is not imagination. It is not coincidence. It is the language of the soul, speaking through an energetic thread that binds the two of you together. Unlike ordinary relationships, this emotional bond is not created through daily conversations, text messages, or shared routines. It existed long before your human minds recognized each other, long before your physical bodies occupied the same space. It is a connection woven at the soul level, always active, always pulsing, always alive. You may go days or weeks without seeing each other, yet the emotional link remains unbroken, like a soft humming under the surface of your life. You can feel them even in silence. You can sense them even in distance. You can love them even when no words are exchanged. This bond pushes both individuals into deeper emotional territory than they have ever experienced. Through it, you do not just feel your own emotions. You are encouraged to feel the emotions you once resisted, avoided, or buried. Their presence awakens the unhealed parts of you, bringing old wounds to the surface, not to break you, but to liberate you. The emotional connection of twin flames acts as a mirror that reflects every truth you need to confront: the tenderness, the fear, the longing, the vulnerability, the strength you forgot you had. This intensity is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to expand you. It teaches you how to love wider, deeper, and more authentically. It pierces through emotional numbness and invites you into a realm of spiritual intimacy that many people never experience in their entire lifetime. Through this connection, you learn compassion at a soul-deep level. You learn empathy that bypasses words. You learn the kind of emotional intuition that cannot be taught, only awakened. In the presence of your twin flame's energy, your emotional world becomes more alive. You begin to feel more intensely, not because the bond creates chaos, but because it calls forth truth. It brings out everything that is real within you. And in doing so, it prepares you for healing, transformation, and spiritual growth, the very purpose of the twin flame journey. This is the power of a deep emotional connection that transcends distance, time, and logic. It is not accidental. It is not fragile. It is the heart of your soul recognizing its counterpart and remembering what it once lost. And once this recognition occurs, both souls begin the sacred process of awakening each other from within. Section 3. The intense magnetism that pulls you beyond reason. The third sign of a twin flame connection is the irresistible magnetism that draws the two of you together. A pull so strong and so persistent that logic cannot explain it nor weaken it. This is not the kind of attraction that comes and goes with time, mood, or circumstance. It is something deeper, older, and far more purposeful. From the very first moment, there is a force between you, a silent current, a gravitational field that begins to pull your lives into the same orbit. Twin flames do not simply meet and walk away. Even if the connection begins with a brief encounter, even if life responsibilities, fear, or timing seem to intervene, the pull remains. It grows beneath the surface, quietly but powerfully. It draws you back together again and again, not through coincidence, but through an ancient energetic truth that both souls remember. No matter how far you travel, no matter how hard you attempt to forget, something inside you gently guides you back toward them, as though the universe itself is orchestrating the reunion. This magnetism is more than physical chemistry, though the physical attraction is often undeniable. It is emotional and spiritual, rooted in a frequency that the two of you share. When twin flames come near each other, the energy becomes charged, vibrant, electric. You may feel unable to look away. Conversations flow effortlessly. Even silence feels alive. You may find your thoughts drifting toward them unexpectedly, or your body responding to their presence before your mind catches up. It feels as if something inside you wakes up in their presence, a memory, a longing, a truth that your soul has been carrying for lifetimes. But the magnetism does not disappear during separation. In fact, it often becomes stronger. Even when months pass without contact, there is a hum in the background of your life, a soft, inner voice whispering their name. You may feel their energy when you lie down to sleep. You may sense their emotions at random times. You might resist the connection, trying to move on, trying to start anew with someone easier or more available, only to feel your heart snap back as though pulled by an invisible cord. This is because the pull is not based on desire or longing alone. It is not something you choose. It is something you remember. It is the magnetic echo of two souls that were once one. It is the force that brings twin flames back together, even after human logic says the chapter should have ended. And this force operates beyond human will. You can try to sever it, suppress it, deny it, but the soul does not obey the mind. The bond between twin flames is written in energy, not circumstance. This magnetism also reveals itself in subtle ways. You may find yourself thinking about them moments before they reach out. You may sense when they are returning into your life. You may feel as though the universe keeps placing signs, synchronicities, or reminders in your path, repeating numbers, familiar songs, symbolic dreams, all pointing back to the same soul. It is as though existence itself is conspiring to realign your paths. This pull can be confusing at times. You may wonder why you cannot simply let go. You may question why someone who is not physically present still feels spiritually near. But this is the nature of a twin flame connection. It is not bound by time, distance, logic, or even choice. It is bound by energy, a frequency that both of your souls recognize, no matter how much the human experience tries to forget. You can meet others. You can build new relationships. You can distract yourself with work or responsibilities. But the magnetic pull of a twin flame sits quietly at the center of your being, unmoved, unshaken, waiting for the moment when both souls are ready to align. It is a reminder that what is destined cannot be outrun, and what is meant for you will always find its way back. This magnetism is not a trap, it is not an obsession, it is a calling, the universe echoing through your heart, guiding you toward the soul that mirrors your own. When the pull becomes undeniable, it is not asking for control, it is asking for awareness, it is asking for surrender, it is asking you to see the truth that your soul has always known. This is the power of twin flame magnetism, a gravitational force that does not take from you, but brings you back to yourself. Imagine two people who meet briefly at a cafe, a simple encounter that, on the surface, should have ended the moment they walked out the door. They exchange only a few words, perhaps just a smile, yet something lingers. Days pass, then weeks, yet neither can shake the quiet pull that tugs at their chest. They try to move on with life, bury themselves in work, or date someone new. But the connection refuses to fade. One night, as she sits alone, she suddenly feels an overwhelming warmth spreading through her heart. The exact moment he finds the courage he has been searching for, miles away. She looks at her phone without knowing why, just as his message appears, as though the universe aligned their inner worlds before their minds even decided to reconnect. This is the magnetism of twin flames. It is not forced, it is not logical. It is a silent gravity that pulls two souls back into each other's orbit, no matter how much time or distance separates them. It is the kind of connection that makes you realize you were never meant to walk away, because your souls were already walking toward each other long before the moment you met. Section 4. The mirror effect. The fourth sign of a true twin flame connection is what many call the mirror effect, a sacred phenomenon where your twin flame becomes a living reflection of your inner world. This is not just a romantic exchange or a deep emotional bond. It is an energetic encounter that reveals you to yourself with breathtaking clarity. When twin flames meet, their energies intertwine in such a profound way that each person becomes a mirror for the other's essence. They reflect the parts of you that shine brilliantly: your compassion, your courage, your intuition, your spiritual gifts. But they also reveal the parts you have tucked away, the shadows you hoped no one would ever see. These shadows may be old fears you never confronted, wounds you pretended to forget, or insecurities you believed you overcame. Yet in their presence, these hidden stories rise to the surface, not to hurt you, but to finally be healed. This reflection is one of the highest forms of spiritual honesty you will ever experience. Through this mirroring, you begin to see yourself with a depth of clarity that feels impossible in any ordinary relationship. You start to notice patterns in your behavior, the ways you protect your heart, the emotional walls you built, the self-doubts you carried since childhood, patterns you never questioned until this connection illuminated them. Your twin flame becomes the catalyst that encourages you to look inward instead of outward, to explore the truths you avoided, and to reclaim the parts of your soul you lost along the way. This process is not always soft or effortless. In fact, it often feels like standing in front of a spiritual spotlight that reveals everything: the beauty, the fear, the unhealed pain, the raw vulnerability. At times, this mirror effect can be deeply uncomfortable. You may feel triggered, exposed, or overwhelmed by the sudden intensity of your awakening. But this discomfort is not punishment. It is transformation in motion. It is your soul preparing to evolve into a higher version of itself, guided by the energy of someone who was destined to awaken this growth within you. Twin flames challenge each other, not out of conflict, but out of divine purpose. The bond is not designed to keep you comfortable. It is designed to elevate you. It pushes you to step beyond your limits, to release outdated beliefs, to break cycles of fear, and to rise into the truth of who you really are. When your twin flame reflects your wounds, they are not exposing them to judge you. They are helping you finally acknowledge what your soul has been quietly carrying. When they reflect your light, they remind you of the greatness your spirit has always held. This dynamic is both breathtaking and transformative. It brings forward profound healing, deeper emotional intelligence, and an awakening of authenticity that reshapes your entire spiritual path. You begin to understand that everything you see in them, the love, the impatience, the passion, the fear, is also a part of you trying to be recognized. The mirror effect teaches you that union is not simply two people coming together. It is two souls teaching each other how to return home to themselves. In this sacred exchange, you grow not because someone asks you to, but because your soul can no longer remain small. You evolve, expand, and shift into the most honest version of yourself, a version aligned with truth, light, and higher purpose. That is why the mirror effect is one of the most powerful signs of a twin flame connection. It reveals what is broken so it can be mended. It brings light to what is hidden so it can be transformed. And most importantly, it prepares you to rise into the person you were always meant to become. Section 5. Shared life patterns. The fifth sign reveals itself through the quiet but powerful realization that your life stories are not just similar, they are mysteriously synchronized. This is not the kind of similarity you see between two people who have simply lived through the common chapters of human life. This is a deeper, almost eerie alignment, the type that makes you stop in your tracks and wonder how two souls could walk such parallel paths without consciously knowing each other. Twin flames often uncover this pattern slowly, one detail at a time, until the bigger picture becomes impossible to ignore. You may come to learn that despite having grown up in different families, different environments, or even different cultures, both of you somehow navigated the same emotional storms. Perhaps you both lost someone significant at a young age, shaping how you learned to love and how you learned to protect yourselves. Perhaps both of you struggled with abandonment wounds, growing up feeling unseen or misunderstood in ways that shaped the exact same walls you built around your hearts. Or maybe you both battled through periods of deep loneliness, identity confusion, or spiritual questioning that now seem strangely identical, as if your souls were being prepared through mirrored lessons. Often, these parallels were unfolding long before you ever crossed paths in this lifetime. You might discover that you lived in the same cities years apart, walked down the same streets without knowing, or even visited the same sacred spaces during moments of emotional crisis. Sometimes the alignment becomes even more startling. Maybe you both had similar romantic patterns, choosing partners who triggered the same wounds. Maybe you both ended long-term relationships at nearly the same moment in time, or found yourselves awakening spiritually within the same year. These echoes are not random, they are divine fingerprints. Twin flame connections operate beyond the boundaries of ordinary coincidence. They unfold within a sacred architecture created by the universe, a design that ensures both individuals grow at a mirrored pace so that when the reunion occurs, the connection can activate at its highest potential. Your souls have been moving like two dancers performing on opposite sides of a stage, practicing the same choreography, feeling through the same emotions, building strength through the same lessons, all so that when the moment of meeting finally arrives, the movements align effortlessly. You may realize that both of you carry the same core fears. Maybe you both learned to suppress your emotions because life taught you that vulnerability was dangerous. Or maybe you both developed a strong sense of responsibility from childhood, carrying burdens that shouldn't have been yours. These mirrored wounds are not there to make your journey more painful. They exist to show you that healing in a twin flame connection is never one-sided. What you heal within yourself, they feel. What they confront within themselves, you sense deep in your spirit. Your journeys have always been intertwined, just happening in two different physical timelines until the moment your energies were ready to merge. These shared life patterns are divine clues. They whisper that your souls have been preparing for each other long before your eyes ever met. The universe placed both of you on parallel tracks, weaving experiences that would shape your emotional landscapes in similar ways, so that when reunion occurred, recognition would be instant and undeniable. This mirroring is not meant to surprise you. It is meant to confirm something you have always felt but never fully understood, that destiny has played a far larger role in your love story than you ever imagined. When you look back and see the synchronicities clearly, you begin to understand that your connection did not begin at the moment of meeting. It began years, maybe lifetimes before, weaving through childhood memories, heartbreaks, relocations, and silent prayers. You both whispered into the night without knowing the other was doing the same. These parallel experiences reveal a profound truth. Your paths were never separate. They were always part of the same divine map, guiding you toward a reunion written long before this lifetime. Section 6. Telepathic communication. The sixth sign emerges in one of the most mysterious and unmistakable experiences within a twin flame connection. The quiet, invisible, yet profoundly real form of telepathic communication. This is not imagination, coincidence, or wishful thinking. It is the natural language of two souls that have always been connected, a silent dialogue that begins long before physical words are ever exchanged. When twin flames activate one another's energy, the communication shifts from ordinary interaction to something far deeper, something that bypasses logic and moves directly through intuition and spirit. You may begin noticing moments where your thoughts seem to mirror each other perfectly. Perhaps you both pick up your phones at the same instant, compelled by an urge you cannot explain. You may send each other a message only to discover that they wrote the same thing seconds earlier. You may suddenly think of them intensely, and within moments, they reach out, or you learn later that they were needing you in that exact moment. It is as though a thread of light connects your minds, allowing emotion, intention, and energy to flow freely in both directions. Music becomes one of the most common channels of this telepathic exchange. You may hear a song unexpectedly at a grocery store, in a cafe, in a quiet moment at home, and feel your chest tighten because it carries the exact message they are thinking or feeling. Sometimes you'll hear a song that holds significance between you at the precise moment they are remembering you. The synchronicity is too exact to be logic, too intimate to be chance. It is soul-level conversation spoken in symbols, sensations, and signs. For many twin flames, this communication extends into the dream world. You might experience vivid, cinematic dreams that reveal their emotions, their fears, or their inner struggles. You may wake up with the sensation that you just spent time together talking, embracing, resolving something, as if the soul connection continues working even when the physical world sleeps. Meditation amplifies this even more. During stillness, you may sense their presence, hear their voice internally, or receive sudden clarity about something happening in their life. These flashes come with a certainty you cannot explain. There is no guessing, you simply know. This form of telepathy is not forced and it cannot be controlled. It is an energetic channel that opens naturally when twin flames meet, as if two frequencies finally align and begin transmitting effortlessly. Once this connection is activated, there is no off switch. Even silence becomes a language. Even distance becomes a pathway. Your souls continue communicating through intuition, sensation, and subtle emotional shifts, guiding each other through confusion, separation, or change. You may sense their sadness without hearing a word. You may feel their joy as a sudden warmth in your chest. You may receive a message in your mind that brings comfort or reassurance, even though no phone call occurred, and they feel the same from you. This connection operates beyond the boundaries of physical communication. It is a spiritual telephone line, always active, always alive, always transmitting truth, even when human behavior becomes complicated. Twin flame telepathy exists because your souls are attuned to the same energetic wavelength. It is the echo of your eternal bond, the reminder that the connection did not begin with this lifetime and will not end with this one. No matter how far apart you are, no matter how many miles separate your bodies or how much silence fills your days, the communication continues. It is the universe ensuring that both of you remain aligned, guided, and supported as you move through your individual journeys and ultimately toward the greater purpose of your union. If you've made it this far into the journey, it means something in your soul is resonating at a deep level. Telepathic communication is not something the mind can easily explain, but the heart always recognizes it. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt someone's emotions from afar, dreamed of them during moments they needed you, or sensed their thoughts before words were spoken? If so, you may already be living this truth more than you realize. I invite you to share your story in the comments below, or simply type the affirmation, "My soul knows the truth," to anchor this awareness and strengthen your connection to your own spiritual path. Let your intuition speak. This space is here for your voice. Section 7. Spiritual Awakening. The seventh and final sign of a true twin flame connection is the profound spiritual awakening that begins the moment their presence enters your life. This awakening is not a simple shift in emotions or a temporary burst of inspiration. It is a transformation that reaches into the deepest layers of your soul, touching the parts of you that have been quiet, dormant, or forgotten for years. When you meet your twin flame, something ancient within you stirs, something that has been waiting for the right moment, the right mirror, the right energy to rise. It is as though your soul recognizes that it cannot continue living the way it has before, and suddenly, an inner light you never knew you carried begins to flicker awake. This awakening often starts subtly. You may begin questioning why certain patterns keep repeating in your life. You may find yourself reflecting on old relationships, past wounds, or childhood experiences with fresh clarity. Your spirit begins pulling you inward, urging you to understand not just what happened in your life, but why. The connection with your twin flame creates an invisible pressure that nudges you toward truth, urging you to peel back the layers of your identity and confront what your soul has long avoided. Suddenly, you are no longer satisfied with living on the surface. You crave depth, you crave meaning, you crave alignment. And then, something shifts. You may feel an undeniable pull toward meditation, breathwork, energy healing, or journaling. You may begin consuming spiritual teachings as though you have been starving for them your entire life. Books, videos, mentors, synchronicities, everything starts showing up at the exact moment you need it. Almost as if guided by unseen hands, your inner world begins to expand. Your intuition sharpens, no longer a quiet whisper but a guiding force with clarity and strength. You start sensing things that others overlook, emotional shifts, energetic patterns, subtle signals from the universe. You may begin having vivid dreams, intuitive insights, or moments of sudden knowing. What once seemed impossible or mystical now feels familiar, natural, and deeply aligned with who you truly are. The perception of your reality transforms as well. You begin noticing beauty in the simplest things: the light hitting a window, the sound of your own breath, the way your heart softens when you're honest with yourself. The world feels alive, intelligent, responsive. You begin to sense that life is not happening to you, but through you. It is as though meeting your twin flame opens a door within your consciousness, a door that has been locked for lifetimes, and for the first time, the light of awareness pours in. This is not just emotional connection, it is energetic initiation. Some awakenings feel gentle, like a warm sunrise, slowly illuminating the horizon of your soul. Others are sudden and explosive, like lightning striking the core of your being and tearing down everything that no longer aligns with who you are becoming. Every awakening is different, but one truth remains universal. Once this door has been opened, it cannot be closed. You cannot return to who you were before your twin flame arrived. You cannot unsee what has been illuminated, nor can you ignore the calling rising from within. This transformation marks the beginning of a new spiritual chapter, one that reshapes the way you see yourself, the way you understand love, and the way you navigate your path. You begin living with greater intention, deeper presence, and higher awareness. You start releasing what drains your spirit and embracing what expands it. Your twin flame does not awaken you because of romance. They awaken you because your souls made a pact long before this lifetime to meet again when you were finally ready to evolve. This awakening is the universe's way of reminding you who you truly are, beneath all the fear, conditioning, and emotional armor. It is an invitation to rise into your highest self, to stand in your authenticity, and to step into the purpose that has been waiting for you since the beginning of your spiritual journey. After meeting your twin flame, you are never the same, and you are not meant to be. For the first time, you are becoming who your soul always intended you to become. As we arrive at the end of this journey, pause for a moment and breathe into everything you have just explored. These 7 signs, the instant recognition that shakes your soul awake, the deep emotional bond that defies logic, the magnetic pull that feels ancient, the mirror effect that illuminates your shadows and strengths, the uncanny parallels in your life paths, the quiet telepathy that bridges distance, and the spiritual awakening that transforms your inner world together form the sacred blueprint of a twin flame connection. This is not merely a story of romance. It is a story of remembrance, of soul memory, of a connection forged long before your human life began. If even one of these signs resonated with you, allow yourself to sit with that truth. Ask yourself honestly, is there someone whose presence feels like a returning home? Someone who both softens you and stretches you? Someone who awakens emotions you did not know you were capable of feeling? Twin flames do not arrive in our lives quietly. They arrive as catalysts, as mirrors, as reminders of who we once were and who we are meant to become. Now, I invite you to take this reflection one step deeper. Share your experience below. Have you encountered any of these signs? Are you walking this powerful journey right now? Your story might be the very message someone else has been praying for, the confirmation they need to trust their own heart. And if you are not yet sure, simply type this affirmation in the comments. My soul recognizes the truth meant for me. This simple sentence signals to the universe that you are ready to receive clarity, guidance, and the love that is aligned with your highest path. If this message touched your heart, please give the video a thumbs up, share it with someone who may need this insight, and make sure to subscribe so you never miss another soul-aligned teaching. And when you are ready, continue your journey by watching the next video below the screen, a deeper exploration into the mysteries of love, destiny, and the spiritual bonds that shape our lives. Remember this always: some connections are not found, they are remembered. Some loves are not learned, they are written in the stars long before we ever arrive on Earth.